Local 2 Weather Authority forecast with Ryan Martin.
Ryan joining us now. So I was inside all day, so I'm looking forward to this weather report from you.
Well, let's just put it this way. The temperatures heated up as college football did. Saturday and Sunday have been a lot hotter than it was earlier this week. We got clear skies finally back. And one thing that's going to be different this week, we got the winds finally making a return. Let's start things off on the health index. Low for tree pollen and grass. Mold and weeds are moderate. This all courtesy of Texan Allergy and Dr. Paul Fulmer. You can visit their website, texanallergy.com. Now, our almanac today, we got back up into the 90s today, 91 for the high. Finally above average. We haven't seen too much of this the past week, but finally back to our above average temperatures. But fortunately, we are still below our record heat of 101. Now, our temperatures across the basin still very nice. High 70s, some low 80s, 81 in Big Springs, all the way down to 71 in Alpine. Marfa seeing similar temperatures, not showing it on the radar, but they are at around 71. So last day of the Marfa Lights Festival, definitely a good forecast, but we still have a lot of humidity in the air. Hasn't dried up the way we were hoping it would, but still seeing a lot of moisture in there. But before you complain, check out what Austin had. 94% for their humidity. They were just, noticed while watching the game, you saw a lot of people with thicker hair, a little wet hair, a lot of moisture in the air there. Definitely not a bad forecast, but a lot of humidity down in the capital. Wind speeds, though, definitely making a comeback back up to these 15-mile-an-hour readings, 16 in Wink, 14 out in the Guadalupe Mountains, all the way up to 18 miles an hour over in Pecos. Now, we don't really have too much going on our satellite radar, relatively clear throughout the entire Permian Basin and West Texas, but we do have those small chance of seeing thunderstorms Monday through Wednesday. You can see this low pressure up here over in Nebraska. That's going to make its way down south, and that's going to give us a possible rain chance, a small rain chance tomorrow through Wednesday, probably about a 10%, 10 to 20% chance, but still something you got to be on the lookout for. It wouldn't be bad to get a nice little drizzle here, keeping the breezes low. Keeping the temperatures low, I should say. Now, looking at our temperatures for tonight in the northern basin, seeing high 60s, going to stay in the 70s in Jow, Lamesa, Gale, and Big Spring. And then looking at the 80s tomorrow, all the way up to 89 degrees in Jow. And you could be seeing temperatures get into the 90s in Big Spring and Gale. And looking at the central basin, low 70s tonight, so a mild night in the basin. And then we're going to be seeing temperatures all the way back up into the 90s tomorrow. Going to stay in the 80s, though, in Penwell, one very lucky area. And then Rankin and Big Lake also going to stay in the 80s, as well as Garden City going into the Trans-Pecos. Some nice temperatures tonight, low 70s, Red Bluff 71, 72 in Pecos, 71 in Balmorhea, 70 in Fort Stockton, Bakersfield 73, Iran 74, and then low 70s over in Sanderson and Dryden. And we're going to stay in the 80s tomorrow in Sanderson, Bakersfield, Fort Stockton, but Red Bluff, Pecos, Balmorhea, Dryden, Sheffield, Iran all have a chance of getting into the low 90s tomorrow. Going into the mountains, 63 in Fort Davis, low 60s in Marfa, high 60s Alpine and Marathon. Going to stay in the 70s in Presidio and the Big Bend Mountains, while seeing 74 in Valentine. Then back up into the 80s tomorrow, low 80s in Marfa, Alpine, Fort Davis, Valentine. Though we could be seeing 90s in Presidio and the Big Bend. Presidio going to be one of the hotter areas in Texas tomorrow. Looking at our 7-day forecast, we got those small rain chances for Labor Day. Enjoy your day off. You might see a drizzle here or there. Temperatures going to be in the 90s once again, but hopefully this rain can keep us down into that 80-degree range. But a 10% chance on Tuesday, 20% chance of rain on Wednesday, back down into the 80s. I made that mistake in the headlines. I meant to say down into the 80s on Wednesday, not Tuesday. Sorry about that. Then back up into the 90s Thursday, Friday, back into the 80s for the weekend, though. So good forecast, but we got a lot of cloud activity this week. So that humidity we were talking about earlier, we were hoping going to dry out today. Looks like it's going to stick around. So expect a little sticky conditions this week.
You know, Ryan, I thought we'd finally stepped out of the 90s and those we're not quite in triple digits, but 94, that's pretty hot.
Yes.
Looks like we're creeping back up there a little bit.
Fortunately, it's only one day this week, but
Ooh.
It's still going to creep into the 90s. Hopefully the rain will stop it, though, but we'll have to pay attention
Not
to
going to
that.
lock the shorts up quite yet.
No, no, not at all. That's going to be a while.
All right. Awesome.
I would be okay with never seeing the triple digits again, though.
We are
For the
not.
rest of the
I would
we
agree
will
with
most
that.
likely, you can most likely bet we will not be seeing triple-digit heat again this year, but never count it out in West
About to
Texas.
say, you heard it here live, folks, from Ryan Martin. We'll see. All right, thanks, Ryan.